Welcome back to Irish Strength. So we have a huge weekend of Strongman coming up this weekend. We've got the natural Ireland's Strongest Man and Ireland's Strongest Woman coming up down in GSP in Galway. This is going to be an epic competition. Like I say, it's on the 25th and the 26th, so it's a 2-day, it's a full weekend, and we're going to be live streaming the whole competition. So the way it's going to be broken down, as far as I'm aware, so far has been decided, it's going to be the Strongwoman competition and the juniors, which is going on the 25th, which is the Saturday. And then you've got the men's competition going on the Sunday, the 26th. Start times for both competitions, not too sure just yet. It'll be somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. That's the usual time that they start. And like I said, there's going to be a live stream of both days, the full competitions. So if you look in the description below, I'm going to have one live stream link for the 25th. Like I say, that's the women's and the juniors. And then I'll have a second link, which will be the second live stream for the men's competition. Now, these are qualifiers for the UK Naturals competition. So there are a lot of people that would like to be there, which means this is going to be a tough competition. There's a lot of different categories. I'm going to read them off the page because there's so many I'm not going to remember. For the women, you've got the under 64 kg, under 73, under 82. You've got the open, the junior and the masters. Then the men's, you've got under 70, under 80, under 90, under 105, opens, junior and masters. So there's a lot going on in this competition. GSB always run a fantastically organised competition, so it's going to be really, really interesting. So what are the events that you're going to get to see? Some real favourites of mine in here, so I'm really excited. Starting off with your max axle press. So from the ground into that overhead press position, there's some really, really good pressers here at this competition. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And that will be set up similar to sort of powerlifting setup, I would imagine, where you will do 3 lifts. Usually the first lift, athletes just want to get a lift on the board, so it'll be a comfortable enough lift for them. Second one, it will be close to their PB or maybe a little bit more depending how they're feeling. And then that final lift will be pushing it right to the limit. So I'm hoping to see some big numbers. Event 2 is a silver dollar deadlift for reps. Event 3 is the farmer's walk. You'll all have seen the farmer's walk before. Never disappoints. On to the Husafell carry, which is the event 4. This is one of my favourites. It's really challenging. One of the things with the Husafell stone is that not many people have access to actually train it, which means it's one of those events that really anyone can actually win this, because a Husafell stone, if you don't get to practice with it, it can be it's always a very awkward implement, but it can be extra awkward. If you've never really gotten to train it regularly, it can be tough to find, right, where am I supposed to grip this? Where is comfortable for me? You'll see a lot of athletes that won't have used it before will possibly lift it too high, and then the Husafell will actually be in front of their thighs, and they really struggle to move. And because their thighs are hitting off it as they're trying to run, it's loosening their grip, it's starting to slip out, and that's where they really struggle. You'll see some of the ones that the athletes that have a bit more experience will lap it. They'll pick it up off the ground, they'll lap it, and then readjust their grip to get it as low as possible so it's right up on the chest, and then it's not impeding the legs. As you can tell, I get quite worked up over the Husafell stone because it is one of my favourites. And then event number 5 wouldn't be a strongman competition without some stones. So we've got stones for reps. So again, this will probably be where they have a yoke set up or a bar going across. Don't know the height, and I don't actually know the weight of the stones just yet, but they will be lifting the stone up, loading it over. There will be somebody the far side to pass it back to them, and they'll just keep doing it as quick as possible. A little downfall that people experience with this, and I did it myself, this is why I know, is that they take a little bit too much time. Nearly every athlete that I've spoken to after a stone for rep event will say, oh God, I could have done faster. I was just setting up, making sure that I got the lift. But it's one of those things you just need to get in, rip it off the ground as quickly as possible, get it over, rather than, I don't want to say thinking too much about it. You don't want to think too much about it. You want to be safe. Obviously, you don't want to hurt yourself on the first rep. But you want to make sure and do this quick as possible. Speed is the most important thing with this. A lot of athletes sort of think about pacing themselves and stuff like that. And the majority of the time they get to, I imagine it's going to be 60 seconds, they get to the 60 seconds and they go, oh no, I'm fine, I could have done more. So I would say push through, go as fast as you possibly can. Forget about the pacing yourself or anything like that. Just get as many stones over as possible. You're not really going to run out of endurance or energy. So those are the events that you're going to get to see. They're some of the best ones. They're really, really exciting. So like I said, we've got the live stream on the 25th, which is the Saturday, which is the women's and the juniors. And then we're on to the 26th, which is the Strongman live stream. And like I said, it's going to be the whole day. Don't miss it. Make sure you tune in for it. Like I said, the links are below. Either click on this video, click the subscribe and hit that little bell, the notification bell, or click on those links and click on the reminder for yourself. This is one that you really don't want to miss. Thanks very much for joining me, and I hope to see you this weekend.